Hey, it's Chris Byer.
Chris Bowler.
Who's this
Mike
guy?
Hughes.
Good
Yeah, Blake.
morning, Blake.
Good
So I
morning. How
know,
are you?
good, good. So I know as you've been working with us, we've been talking a lot about the trends in work from home. I know you've done a little bit of research, but you also have transitioned from mostly in the office to now mostly at home or out with clients and prospects. So how's that been for you?
I mean, I really enjoy it. I'm kind of a social butterfly. They say cooler talk.
Yeah,
I'm very much guilty of that. So the productivity wise, I can get a lot more done, and I end up actually working longer,
Yeah.
which is a surprise.
Yeah.
I don't think a lot of people expected that.
Well, I know this, Chris, has been a topic we've discussed a couple of different times that, we've had the whole flux of pre-COVID, our offices allowed like one work from home day. COVID hit, we shut the office down, and it was months and months. And we're still, as an organization and our office, is trying to figure out what makes sense. But it's interesting, Blake, because you were doing a little bit of research for this topic just this week, and we're recording this on August 11th. Zoom, which is our platform for recording this,
Right.
is asking that they have their employees start coming back to work, which that is probably the most notable. It's not everybody, but they've said, if you live within 50 miles of an office, we would like you in a hybrid schedule back in the office at least 2 days a week for that water cooler talk and engagement with your team. So an organization that is built on a virtual platform is asking that their employees come back to work. So I thought it was a great time to record this. So what do you guys think about that?
Crazy.
Yeah, well, I'm like Blake. I do make a conscious effort to work from the office from time to time, but I'm a lot more productive at home.
Yeah.
I don't have any distractions. It's just me, my wife, and my two dogs, and my two dogs typically stay quiet. So
Fingers crossed for this recording. Yes.
fingers crossed as they are right down there.
Yeah.
You never know when you'll hear one of them start snoring. But so we've gone through these management conversations many times, and we too are on a hybrid, right? We have an AB, but yet we've even gone so far to be so flexible to one person can work all 5 days from the office one week and then take all 5 days the following week at home. But what I found was interesting, Blake, is you sent us probably 20 different articles and not a single stat lined up. I mean,
they're all different.
One says 80% this and the other one says nope, it's 20%. So what did you think you were doing all of that research?
Well, it's like the sources, you'd read the title and you knew what kind of stat they were going to give you, whether it was a good thing or a bad thing, which I thought was really funny. I mean, it was just really surprising to me, some of the crazy stats, and then I'd fact check it and then look into it, and it was like actually the totally other way.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just crazy.
But I think as we've seen this, the hybrid is probably the way to go, not just for the social interaction, but I think the productivity has gone up. But then just from a mental health standpoint, I think that's been helpful that, you think even for some of our employees, we're in a very rural market. People are driving, 20 minutes, not necessarily through traffic, 30 minutes, not necessarily through traffic, but just that ability to not have to take that trip. And you've got an extra hour in your day to do what you need. Maybe that's extra exercise. Maybe that's getting stuff done at home. I think it's been good for our teams who have been able to be productive and take care of our clients well. But I think it comes back to each organization has to decide what makes sense. Obviously, manufacturing, you've got to be in the office. You can't produce without that. But I think in a situation where you can still communicate well, it makes sense.
Right. Especially in the mental health aspect of it, because a lot of people have reported that it's really helped them at least to have the flexibility, whether you go in all the time or not, you have the flexibility to work at home. We didn't have the ability to do that before this, for a lot of people. So
I think that makes a lot of sense. And, I'm sure this will continue to evolve, but it was really interesting to see, again, the prominent virtual communication organization making that request, not mandating, but just making that request. Let's build community again. Let's get together. And as we've done, we've got happy hours, breakfasts, we've had cookouts, we've done all that stuff to try to encourage our teams to get back to the office. Some do, some don't, but it's providing that outlet for people to not just be stuck at home all the time, that they have a chance to interact with their coworkers, and it's always been fun.
Yeah, well, it's interesting. We've heard this term work-life balance more and more through COVID, because before you just worked 5 days. I mean, it's just the way it was, right? And you tried to decompress, try to recharge your battery over the weekend. And, you know, this hybrid schedule does give you some work-life balance, you know? I mean, I hate to say it, but many of us try to do things during the day that we would not be able to do if we were at work, you know?
Yeah.
Do a load of laundry, whatever it is, but you know, easier, you know, to slip away, you know, to a doctor's appointment than it was when you're at work. And I'm a big fan of it. I think that there has to be a work-life balance, and I think some hybrid schedule, you know, really allows kind of the best of both worlds.
Yeah. And I think it's a discussion of productivity as well. It isn't so much how many hours do you work. Granted, you've got to track your time if you're an hourly employee, but are you getting your job done, and are you enjoying doing your job? From that point on, I don't care where you're doing it, as long as it's working well and the clients are taken care of, or the customers are taken care of. And I think we're starting to see that play out well for the three of us, and then also for those organizations we work with. So.
Right.
Well, thanks for doing a little bit of research and prompting that. So go ahead.
Yeah. Kind of like you said, it's just the type of work that you're doing.
Yeah.
I mean, some things are better done where you have a little bit of freedom.
Yeah. Makes sense. Makes sense. Well, thank you, sir.
Thank you, Blake. Thanks for doing all this research. We appreciate you.
All right. See you guys.
We'll see you. Take care.
Yeah.